Good afternoon, everybody. Spokane Steve here. Time once again for Strat-O-Matic Baseball 1966 replay. We're going to pick up where we left off yesterday and play the second game of a doubleheader. Washington Senators at Baltimore Orioles. Hello to Franklin and hello to Frank. In Frank's pre-play, it was Washington 5, Baltimore 4. And Franklin, a lot of info here on his 1872 playthrough. Just to recap briefly, for those of you who don't know, he started with 1871 in out-of-the-park baseball. You know, Franklin, I wonder if there isn't some YouTube footage of old-time baseball. Probably not, right? Because did they even have movie cameras in 1872? I kind of doubt it, but what do I know? Probably the best we can hope for is some still photographs, huh? Jim Hannon will make his fourth start of the season. That's correct. Hannon, although he doesn't have a bad card, has been hammered. 0-2 with a 7.23 ERA, 3 starts, 4 relief appearances. He's allowed 33 hits in just 18 2/3 innings. On top of that, he's walked 10. That's 43 base runners in 18 2/3 innings. So poor Hannon, well, he wasn't great. Certainly not that bad. He's just been hammered. And good afternoon, Mike, and hello to Unmitigated Gall. Why, the unmitigated gall of it. Okay, that was the worst W.C. Fields impression I've ever heard. If I do say so my damn self. Looks like we got a little whiteout on the score sheet. You can pretty much guess what happened there. Well, I don't want to say today's game's a mismatch, but it very well could be. Steve Barber, the lefty on the mound for the Orioles, has been magnificent in complete contrast to Hannon. Barber 6-2 with a 2.14 ERA. That would place him fourth in the American League in ERA. In 9 starts, he's completed 3 of them. He's thrown in 2 relief appearances. And in 67 1/3 innings, has surrendered just 49 hits. He does walk a few, 33. Orioles have won 2 of the 3 so far. This is the 4th of a 4-game series plus 1. Counting the game that was played in Washington, the Orioles have won 3 of the 4. In first place, 36-15, 3 games ahead of Minnesota. And hello to Bob Merrow. Hello, hello. Yes, 2 Steves today. What are we going to do? Clear the room. Katie, bar the door. Mookie. Yeah, Mookie had his annual vet exam this morning. That was at 9:30 a.m. Does anybody else have this problem? I've talked to 2 other people that say they do as well. Whenever I have a morning appointment, I have a hard time sleeping the night before. I don't know why. Usually I figured it was the apprehension of myself having to go to the doctor. I figured that wouldn't come into play with a routine vet visit, but it did. And of course, if you missed yesterday, no game tomorrow, because I have to be gone sometime between 8 and 5. They won't tell me when. Oh, but get this. Here's the best part of it. I almost forgot to tell you guys this part. I'm getting Mookie, I'm getting breakfast. 8:30 in the morning, this guy from Pest Control knocks on my door and says, "Are you the one with the fleas? We're here to do it." And I said, "Well, I was told it was going to be on Wednesday. I can't do that today." "Okay, well, I'll let the office know. It's just that we're short-staffed right now. That's why we're behind." Okay, let me see if I can get this straight in my head. You're behind, but yet you show up unscheduled a day early. Okay. Hello, Rick. Welcome. Let's go ahead and hammer out the Senators lineup and we'll play ball. Fred Valentine is in right field for the nightcap. Bob Savarin at third base. Don Locke back in the lineup in center field. Frank Howard, of course, is in left. Ken McMullen will play first base. Ken Hamlin at second base. Thinking of Bob Hamlin, the Kansas City first baseman. Doug Camilli will catch the nightcap. Ed Brinkman at short, and Hannon, the pitcher, hits ninth. A couple of changes for the Orioles as well. Russ Snyder's back in the lineup in center. Boog Powell, of course, against a right-hander, is back in the lineup. And Cam Carrion gets a rare start behind the plate. Andy Etchebarren has been known to catch both games of a twin bill, but not this time. He weighs in at 9.2. I'm not sure if that's 9.2 pounds or 9 pounds 2 ounces. I don't know how their digital scale works. Anyway, I got my coffee. I'm trying to snap out of it here. I'm really dragging today. Another 90-degree day here, by the way. Yes, Franklin, that I can believe, because I've seen pictures of Cap Anson and Spalding. Looks like everybody on the team is working in a barbershop quartet as a side job. Okay, let's play ball. The particulars: Emmett Ashford behind the plate, just over 9,600 in the house. Small crowd for a doubleheader. And here's Fred Valentine. Valentine hitting .290, 7 home runs, 19 RBIs, hitting right-handed against Barber, and we're underway. Barber's pitch is a .411 righty. Valentine lifts it to left for Bleffery, and he makes the catch for the out. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Bleffery, of course, is back in the lineup as well. And Jerry Adair at second with Davey Johnson playing short, so Aparicio taking the nightcap off. Here's Savarin now. .246, 3 homers, 11 RBIs. Switch hitter batting right-handed. Here's Barber's delivery. It's a 1-5, and Savarin strokes a hard ground ball through the left side for a single. So he shot one right through the 6 hole there. And Savarin reaches. Savarin no threat to run, but let's check the battery anyway. Barber with a -1, Carrion with a +3 arm. That could be a problem. That's a +2 battery. He's a 15. Okay, I take that back. He might be a threat to run. In fact, the Orioles are going to hold him on at 13. Hello to Michael and hello to Ben. I saw that, Michael, yeah. 80 is just fine with me. Although, as I mentioned yesterday, I really have no problem with the 90s. Just keep it under 100, I'm happy. It's the cold I don't like. The heat does tend to take it out of you, though, doesn't it? I mean, I don't mind it, but I can definitely feel I'm a bit lethargic. And Mookie, after getting his shots today, I'm sure he's probably out of it. Don Locke is the hitter, runner at first, one away. Locke hitting .226, 6 homers, a dozen RBIs. Barber from the stretch, that's going to be a 2-2, and he hits him. We're going to roll for it. On a 2, that's going to be a warning. Both benches are warned as Barber drills Don Locke. Savarin takes second. After a single and a walk, Carrion will pay a quick trip to the mound. Eight Hall of Famers from that era. Wow. Can you name him, Franklin? DeMookster, yeah. He had his annual checkup. Simply routine. Here's Frank Howard. And Dan also had some shots of a slightly different variety than Mookie. Oh, I forgot about Pud Galvin. Of course, Anson and Spalding I would have guessed. I've heard of Candy Cummings. I've never heard of Jim O'Rourke. I have heard the name Deacon White. And the Wright brothers, maybe they weren't even brothers. Couldn't pass that up, though. Haven't heard of them either. Unless it's those Wright brothers, I'm pretty sure it isn't. First and second, one out. Here's Frank Howard, the team's leading hitter at .293. 3 homers, 22 RBIs. Barber with a full windup now on a .210 left-handed. Hard smash to short. Johnson has it. Goes to Adair for 1. On to Powell, double play. And the threat is extinguished. No runs, a hit, 1 left after half an inning. It's Washington 0. Baltimore coming to bat against Jim Hannon. And here's the lineup the Orioles will send out there today. It's Russ Snyder leading off in center field. Kurt Blefary in left. Frank Robinson, of course, in right, hits third. Brooks Robinson at third base. Boog Powell at first base. Davey Johnson playing shortstop today with Jerry Adair at second base. Cam Carrion, a computer-only card. Look at all those walks against left-handers. He's facing a righty today. Quite a few walks, quite a few doubles in the twos column. Pretty good for a computer card. I gotta look up his stats now. I'm sure you're all curious as well. Okay, Carrion that year had just 9 at-bats. He was 2 for 9. Both hits were doubles, and he drew 3 walks. So Carrion was up and gone in the blink of an eye. But he's the catcher for today's game, the nightcap of a doubleheader. And here's Russ Snyder to lead it off. Let me get a drink of water. Oh, that's cool, Dan. Thank you for that. I'll have to check that out. And welcome in Colin. Oh, hello, Matt and Vids. That is fun. George Wright's autograph. What's the triple unmitigated? Okay, I don't get that one. You'll have to explain it. Did someone hit a triple and I missed it? Nobody else said anything. Okay, here we go. Carry on luggage. Well, we'll carry on here anyway. Here's Russ Snyder. Oh, you wanted him to triple. I get it now. Here's Russ Snyder. He comes in at 221, no homers, 4 RBIs. Left-handed batter, Hannon into the windup. That's going to be a 3-7 right-handed. Snyder lifts it to right field, playable for Valentine, who makes the catch. Here's Kurt Blefary. Blefary comes into the game at 290, 12 homers, 36 RBIs. Right, yeah, now I get it. Hannon into the windup. That's going to be a 5-6 left-handed. Now he rolls one through the hole on the right side and into right for a single. Hard hit grounder into right field. Blefary, no threat to run. Let's check the battery anyway. Hannon with a +2 hold, we can see right there. And the catcher, Camellia, is 0. Frank Robinson steps to the plate, hitting .323, 17 home runs, 45 RBIs. Frank, of course, now leads the American League in home runs. Hannon from the stretch. Pitch to Frank is a 2-6, grounder to third, hard hit. Savarin to Hamlin for 1. Nice turn to McMullen, double play. Another inning-ending double play, and we're scoreless after 1. Okay, there's the barber. Yes, and I bet if Chris Berman had been broadcasting in 1966, and of course the song had been released by then, he would have said the same thing. Ken McMullen will lead off the second, playing first base today, hitting .221 with 7 homers and 20 RBIs. Barber into the windup. That's going to be a 6-7 right-handed, and he loses him ball 4. Leadoff walk to McMullen. That's been the one bugaboo for Barber this year, the base on balls. But at 4th in the league in ERA, who can complain? Ken Hamlin will be the hitter. Excuse me. Hamlin just 17 for 69. That's a .246 average. He has 1 home run. Barber working from the stretch. 3-2, grounder to third base. Robinson has it to Adair. Nice turn to Powell, double play. Mr. Hamlin, you hit it to the wrong ball player. 2 down, nobody on, and here's the catcher, Doug Camilli. Camilli at .215, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. The pitch from Barber is a 6-10 right-handed. It's a fly to center field X. That's a tough chance for Snyder. Snyder a 3-6 ranging to his right. Here's the play on a 13. He makes a nice running catch to retire the side. So 8X, side retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left. And we take it to the bottom of the second. Hello, Thomas. Super. So I got a question for you, Thomas. You're a Kansas fan. They were your favorite band. Do you remember them when they were Proto-Ka? Not many people do, I have to ask. Yes, that's Proto-Ka, spelled like that. Brooks Robinson leading off the bottom of the second. Brooks is hitting .275, 6 home runs, 38 RBIs. Hannon into the windup now. The pitch is a 5-4 righty. It's a grounder to third base X. Tough chance for Savrin, a 4-18 to his left. Savrin on the 5. He's not going to get it. That's down the line for extra bases. Robinson rounds and coasts into second with a leadoff double. Brooks says, I would have had that. Here's Boog Powell. Powell, the leading hitter on the club at 344. 13 homers, 35 RBIs. Wow, okay. I'm going to get back to that. Here's the pitch to Powell. 6'11" left-handed. That's going to be a fly to left field. Playable for Howard. He makes the catch, and Robinson retreats to second base. So before they were Protocol, they were Nebraska? You know, visualizing their first album cover, right? Here's Davy Johnson. Johnson at 251, 3 homers, 28 RBIs. Hannon with the pitch. That's going to be a 4-9 right-handed. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Going back is Howard at the track, at the wall. It's off the wall for a double. Brooks Robinson will score easily, and the Orioles are on the board 1-0. Give Davy an RBI on that one. And here's the second baseman, Jerry Adair. Adair just 8 for 45 so far. It's a 178 average, but he does have 2 home runs. The pitch from Hannon is a 6'9" right-handed. He lifts it the other way to right field. Valentine is there, and there's 2 down. And here's Cam Carry-On. He's been in 1 game. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Hannon gets the sign. The pitch to Cam is a 3-4. Struck him out. Called strike 3, and down he goes. Orioles settle for a run on 2 hits and leave a man. After 2 innings of play, it is 1-0 Baltimore. Anyway. So before Protocol, they were in Nebraska. I mentioned Protocol because there is an excellent 2-CD set, Protocol, the early Kansas or something like that, and it's very good. Many years ago, oh goodness, how long ago are we talking now? We're going back probably 25 years or so. I used to sit at my desktop computer, right? This is before laptops, or before I had one anyway. And there was this guy who would do a show, I think it was Monday, or it was one night a week, for 2 hours. He would play music and talk about it, and he would dig up some nuggets. I liked it because I heard a lot of things that I was unfamiliar with. And, of course, that's where I first heard Protocol. I said, who is this? It sounds like Kansas. And then everybody would join in and talk about it. Pre-YouTube days, right? Okay, 3rd inning, here's Brinkman. Eddie Brinkman comes in at 250. 2 home runs, 19 RBIs. Barber gets the sign. Pitches a 5-8 right-handed. It's a grounder to second base X. That's the sure-handed Adair. 2 E18. Ranging to his left on an 8, that'll be the E range. It's a 7 on an 18. He makes a fine play and throws him out. Nice play, Jerry Adair, 1 down. And here's the pitcher, Hannon. Hannon, a right-handed hitter. Barber's pitch is a 5-4. Catcher's card, that's going to be Carry On. 4E16. Here's the play on a 4. It's going to be a pop out to the catcher. So 2 down quickly in the third. 2 X plays, 2 down. Top of the order, and here's Fred Valentine. Barber's pitch to the righty. 4-7. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 1, 2, 3 inning for Barber. Okay, I get it now. I get it now. You had me going, Colin. Yeah, I'll bet you could find that pretty cheap on eBay. Maybe not. I'll bet it's out of print. Might be actually difficult and expensive to find. I'll tell you what, Colin, if you can't find it, shoot me an email. I'll burn one. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to get in trouble here. All right. Here's Barber, a left-handed hitter. Hannon's pitch is a 2-8. Struck him out. Second K for Hannon. They'll turn the lineup over, and here's Russ Snyder for the second time. He flew to right in the first. Is that a fact, Franklin? Wow. Hannon into the windup. It's going to be a 3-7 righty. Fly ball to right, playable for Valentine, and he makes the catch. So 2 fly balls to right for Snyder, 2 down, and here's Bleffery. I hate to admit it now, but I was one of those when I first heard of YouTube. I said, this'll never last. Hannon's pitch to Bleffery is going to be a 6-5 left-handed. He also lifts it to right field. Backing up a bit is Valentine, and he hauls it in. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Hannon. So we're through 3. Pitcher's duel. Orioles lead it 1-0. And look at him now. Oh, if only we'd have known, right? I'd bought stock. My goodness. I'd be retired in luxury instead of retired in poverty. They did, Ben, yeah. They really went into the crapper, didn't they? That's another one I knew it wouldn't work from the get-go, and I stand by that. I think MTV did more to hurt music than any other single thing. Saverin will lead off the 4th for Washington. He singled his first time up, the only hit of the game so far for the Senators. Batting righty against Barber. Here's the pitch on a 2-5. He walks him. So Bob Saverin's been on both times. Again with the +2, they're going to have to hold him at 13. And he's going to roll for it. 6 or 7 out on an 11. He does not get the lead. Here's the next pitch to Locke. That's That's a 5-7 righty. Base hit into right field. Savarin rounding. 15-17. Robinson a +1, 18. They're going to send him. Baltimore will cut the throw off, keeping Locke at first. So Washington threatening in the fourth. Runners at the corners and nobody out. And here comes Frank Howard. Even in the, yes, from the get-go, I say. It was the beginning of style over substance. A band like, let's say, Mountain didn't have a prayer. Let's see how we're going to play it now from the Orioles' perspective. You've got Howard very slow at the plate. They're going to play back. They'll give up a run for 2 outs. Barber's set now. Pitch to Big Frank is a 6-5. He laces one into right field for a single. Double to 2. He gets the long single. Savarin scores, and Locke goes all the way to third. RBI single for Frank Howard, and this game is tied up. A walk and 2 hits and carry on to the mound again. We're not going to get tired of the carry on jokes today, are we? Ken McMullen due up. Okay, they break it up now. Checking the ground ball A's here. Quite a few. They're going to play back. Barber trying to get a ground ball. The pitch to McMullen is a 1-10. Struck him out. Called strike 3. Big strikeout for Barber. That's just the first out of the inning. There you go. Mike gets it. Exactly. Thank you, Larry. Exactly. The mountain reference. Although I still maintain that Nantucket Sleigh Ride was the better album. That one did not have Mississippi Queen. Let's check Hamlin's ground ball A's now. Looks like he's got a lot as well. They're going to remain back. Barber's still trying to coax the ground ball. Pitch to Hamlin. A 4-4 right-handed. Fly to center and shallow. On comes Snyder, still coming. Just does catch up with it. He's almost to the infield by the time he caught that, and the runners will have to hold. Now Barber, 1 batter from getting out of this jam. Score tied, 1-1 in the fourth. Runners at the corners, Doug Camilli at the plate. Here's the pitch on a 2-3 foul ball left side. Brooks Robinson reaches over the railing and makes the grab. How about that? Barber pitches out of it. He got out of that cheaply enough. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 left on. We're all knotted up at 1 going to the bottom of the fourth. Well, remember, the very first song they did on MTV, they played Video Killed the Radio Star. You couldn't get much more prophetic than that. Here's Frank Robinson leading off the bottom of the fourth. Jim Hannon gets the sign from Casanova. Sorry, not Casanova. Camilli. A slight omission on my defensive chart there. 410 right-handed. He flies it into center shallow. Making the play is Locke. Now I'm going to have to double check that because I forgot what the hell I just did. My apologies, guys. I must be out of it today. Holy crap. Okay, there's Robinson. I forgot what I rolled for Robinson already. Okay, it was the 410 fly to center. And we're up to date. Here's Brooks Robinson. He doubled and scored in the second. Hannon into the windup. 5-11 is a base hit into left field. And Brooks Robinson 2 for 2. I remember the two Julie Browns, and I do remember the movie Earth Girls Are Easy. Here's Boog Powell, runner at first, one down. Powell flew to left his first time up. Hannon now out of the stretch. Pitch to Boog is 2-8 right-handed. It's a grounder to first. McMullen has it down to Brinkman for one. Back to McMullen. It's a 3-6-3 double play, and that'll end the inning. No runs a hit and nobody left. Pitcher's duel through 4. Kind of a surprising pitcher's duel. Not so much where Barber's concerned, but with Hamlin on the mound. Hannon, rather, not Hamlin. I've got Hamlin on the brain today for some reason. One of Bob Hamlin's cards was just voted into the ATG set. Read that this morning, so that's probably what it is. Although 25 cards were voted in, so I'm not sure why that one sticks out in my mind. Okay, 5th inning. Eddie Brinkman to start it off. He's 0 for 1. Barber gets the sign. Here's the windup. The pitch is a 2-6 left-handed. He lifts it straight away center. Snyder is there, gloves it, and there's one down. Here's the pitcher, Hannon. Right-handed batter. 2-7 struck him out. Strikeout number 3 for Barber. And here's Valentine, 0 for 2 today, batting right-handed. Barber's pitch is a 3-10. He lifts it the other way to right field. Frank Robinson is right there in his tracks and makes the catch to retire the side. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Barber. Halfway point in the game, it's a 1-1 tie. Boog slower than a snowball trying to roll uphill. Oh, that's interesting, Dan. Bob Hamlin, he says, looked like the guy who broke the chicken wing record at the state fair or something. I imagine that means he ate the most chicken wings. Yes, but were they bone-in or boneless? That's what we want to know. Davy Johnson will lead it off. He doubled in the second. Hannon into the windup. Mr. Johnson's a 4-5 righty. Grounder to shortstop X. That's Brinkman. 2E29. Brinkman into the hole. On a 9, it's the E range. That's going to be an 8 on a 29. And he makes a fine stop. Long throw in time. Nice play, Brinkman. This is some sharp defense on both sides today so far. And the batter will be Adair. Adair 0 for 1. Hannon set now. Pitch is a 5'8" right-hander, and he bangs that into left field. Base hit, double to 2. He will hold with a long single. 1 out single for Adair. With a +2 battery, he's a 15. Pretty good chance of getting the lead, too. They're going to hold him on at 13 in a close game. And here's Cam Carry-On. Hannon checks the runner. From the stretch, it's a 210 right-handed. That's going to be an extra base hit for Carry-On. Let me check it on the computer screen, make sure I get this right. It's a 2-star double, and Adair will have to hold at third. So Carry-On with a ringing double, and the Orioles are in business here in the 5th, 2nd and 3rd and 1 down. Unfortunately for them, the batter is Barber. Barber is an A bunter, however. That'll force Washington to bring the infield in. Runner at third is Adair. And the Birds put on the squeeze play. With a B, it's an 8. Batter is safe, runner on third is out. So that's going to go as a 1-2 force. Adair is erased. Carry-On to third. So Barber bunted it a little too hard back to the pitcher. Well, it was worth a shot, and they still have a runner at third. Better than a double play. Here's Snyder, runners at the corners, 2 down. Hannon checks the runners. Comes to the plate 5-7, and he walks him, and the bases are loaded. Barber goes to second. The sports science fella. Now I'm intrigued, Rick. Oh, John Brenkus. I don't know who that is. Kind of embarrassed to admit. Oh, that explains it, because I don't get ESPN. That explains it all now. In any case, rest in peace, John. Here's Bleffery, 1 for 2. Bases full of Birds. And Hannon is fatigued. I'm sorry. I almost missed that. Here comes Hodges, and that's going to do it for Hannon. He's an S5. 2 singles and a walk. Hodges is going to pull the old "my pitcher is injured" routine. And Dick Lyons will jog in from the bullpen. So Lyons, replacing an injured pitcher, will get as much time as he needs to warm up. 4 2/3 for Hannon. 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. 1 walk. Struck out 2. 1 run so far. But the bases are full, and they're all his responsibility. There are 2 outs. And the lefty, Dick Lyons, has been brought on to face Bleffery. Lyons' numbers on the season: he's been in 13 games, 0-1 with a pair of saves and a 3.12 ERA. Hilarious. Marty says Dick Lines. The jokes write themselves. Lines ready to go to work now. Bleffery standing in. Left on left. Here's the pitch on a 4-4. That's going to be right in the heart of some danger there. It's catcher's card X. That's going to be Camille. Camellia 4E4. Here's the play. Will the run score? It's going to be a foul out to the catcher. No advancement. Wow, they got lucky on that one. That will do it. And the Orioles leave the bases loaded here in the 5th. The Lions gets out of the jam. We can close the book on Hannon now. And we're going to move to the 6th inning in a 1-1 duel. Before we do, Joe Boo needs a refill. Okay. Let's see what I missed here. Here comes the first of many, I'd have to assume. Bob Saverin will lead off the 6th. Let me grab that coffee. Okay. Saverin singled and walked so far. Barber into the windup. Pitch to Saverin's a 5'9" right-handed. He lifts it the other way to right field. Frank Robinson is there. One away, and the hitter will be Don Locke. Locke hit by a pitch and singled. Barber into the windup. It's going to be a 3-7 lefty. Struck him out. Fourth strikeout for Barber, and here's Frank Howard with 2 down. Barber gets the ball back quickly, gets the sign, the windup, the pitch to Howard's a 3-5 lefty, bangs it up the middle for a base hit. 2 out single for Howard, who's 2 for 3. No triples, though. Here's McMullen. Walked and struck out. Howard staying pretty close to first as Barber comes set. The pitch to McMullen on a 2-7 lefty. Extra bases, hit high and deep over Bleffery's head. Triple to 2. That is going to be a double for McMullen. Howard rounding. This should be interesting. 8 + 2, 10. To center, where Snyder is a +2, 12. They're going to send Big Frank. Here he comes. Snyder's throw, he's in there. And on the 5, McMullen takes third. Holy smoke, look at Howard run. RBI for McMullen. Barber rated 7 for endurance, so that's not an issue. The batter will be Ken Hamlin. Hamlin 0 for 2. Runner at third, 2 down. 2-1 Senators here in the 6th. Barber set now. The pitch is a 4-4. Fly to center shallow. On comes Snyder. He's there. And that'll do it. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Senators clinging to a 2-1 lead. Well, he may not have tripled, but hopefully that'll satisfy you. Scored from first on a double. Lions will come out for the 6th. Oh yeah, Franklin, that's a good analogy. So where are you at in 1872 now? Care to share any numbers or anything? Two to 1 Senators, heart of the order for the Orioles. Frank Robinson 0 for 2 today. Lines gets the sign from Camille. Here's the windup and here's the pitch on a 4-3. Hard smash to third. Savarin to McMullen. Here's Brooks now. He's 2 for 2 on the day. Lines gets the sign. There's the pitch. It's a 4-8 righty and he walks him. So Brooks Robinson has reached all 3 times today. +1 battery now. No threat to run. And up steps Boog Powell. Powell 0 for 2. Lefty versus lefty here. Lines out of the stretch. The pitch is a 4-10 lefty. Shallow fly ball to right field. On comes Valentine for the catch. And it'll be up to Dave Johnson. Davey 1 for 2. Line set. The pitch is a 6-8 right-handed. Hard smash to third. Savarin again. Goes the short way to Hamlin, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, a man left. We're through 6 innings. 2 to 1 Senators. And now for Steve Barber, his first inning of potential fatigue here. He's in S7 as we go to the 7th. I just saw Ben's remark about the potholes. That's awesome. Seventh inning, bottom third of the order for Washington. Doug Camille will start it off. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Barber gets the sign from Carry On. The pitch is a 6-7 righty, and he walks him. Not a good start to the 7th for Barber. Camille, of course, very slow. Eddie Brinkman, the hitter, a bunting situation. Pitcher on deck. They'd like to stick with lines, so they're going to swing away. Pitch is a 6-10 right-handed. Fly to center field X. Tough chance for Snyder. Snyder a 3-E6 in center, ranging back now on a 6. He can't get to it. That drops in for a hit. All the way to third goes Camille. And now one more hitter walk will fatigue Barber, and Cam Carry On is headed out to the mound. Gene Brabender is joined by Eddie Watt in the Baltimore pen. Lyons is the pitcher now. He's a B bunter, and the Orioles will bring the infield in. He squares to bunt as a C, no squeeze play. It's a 3C. And he beats out the bunt. Runners advance. That drives in a run. Holy smoke, can you believe it? Lyons beats out the bunt. Camille scores. To second goes Brinkman, and it's 3-1. Hannon with an R. Hannon. I'm sorry. Lines with an RBI single. I was staring at it because on a 3, no, he was a B, he would have beat it out anyway. A B or a C beats it out. For a minute there I was thinking if they hadn't have pulled the infield in, but no. Result would have been the same. That fatigues Barber. The bunt single fatigues Barber, and here comes Bauer. So that's it for Steve Barber. Was it going to be Watt or Brabender? What's your opinion? I'm going to check their usage display here. Welcome any thoughts on this. Oh, Watt definitely needs some work. They're going to go to Eddie Watt. Both pitchers worked in this game in real life. Not that I always go by that, just to reiterate. Starting lineups and starting pitchers I do go by. After that, those other things are just written down as a guideline as far as who actually relieved and pinch hit. So Barber goes 6+, still nobody out. 3, 4, 5, 7 hits, 3 runs so far. He walked 2, 3 and hit a batter. And he struck out 1, 2, 3, 4. The Barber exit, Watt comes in. Watt on the season has been spectacular, by the way. He's been in 16 games, 1-0 with the saves, and a stingy 1.14 ERA. First and second, nobody out. Infield playing back, and here's Valentine. 0 for 3 on the day. Watt ready to go to work now. Gets the sign from Carry-On. Pitch to Fred Valentine on a 6-4 lefty. A grounder to short X. This could be 2, but remember, this is not Aparicio. Davey Johnson, a 348 at short. Here's the play on a 14. He makes the play, but his only play is to first, and both runners will move up. Whoops, he already wrote in. Started to write in 4-3. It's 6-3X on a C. Brinkman to third. Lines to second. And now the Orioles will pull the infield in. Second and third, 1 away. Bob Savarin at the plate. Don Locke to follow. Score is 3-1 Washington now. Good point, Larry. I should have thought of that with the Dick lines and the everything else today. Infield in for Savarin. He's going to turn around and hit lefty against Eddie Watt. Watt checks the runners. Comes to the plate 5-8. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Big strikeout there from Watt. 2 down, and the batter is Locke. Locke 1 for 2. Eddie Watt with the sign. The windup, the pitch. 6'11" right-handed. He lifts it to right field, playable for Frank Robinson, and Watt comes in and puts out the fire. Senators get an insurance run on 2 hits and leave a pair in scoring position. As we stretch, they lead it 3-1. 4-4 for the 1872 Athletics. Only 15 players on the roster. Well, I can tell you one thing, Larry. If they did, that would have still been in the era where you needed 9 balls for a walk. That much I do know. And now we're going to find the star of our show, who's probably all crapped out after his doctor's appointment. But we'll find out. Yep, see, he's not in his typical spot lately. Look at him, he's in bed. He says, I've had a rough day, I'm going to bed. Mook, you doing okay, buddy? No itching or pain. That's what they said to watch out for. Looks fine to me, it's just they said he'd be lethargic, and he certainly looks lethargic. I don't feel tardy. Still perky enough to groom. He says, wait a minute, I got to do my hair if I'm going to be on camera. Go get him, Mook. Go for it. Yeah, he looks a little out of it, doesn't he? Yikes, what did I just step on? Okay, I'll turn the light off and let him get some rest. Yeah, because we'll be on the road tomorrow. He needs his rest. Exiled once again from my own apartment. Oh, and get this, they gave me, this was nicer than the vet asked me about the fleas. I said, no, I don't see any, and they're going to do another treatment. He says, well, I have an extra NexGard flea protection. I'll give you that for free. I said, well, thank you very much. Why wouldn't I do that? And we're back to the game. Bottom of the 7th, 3-1 Senators. Dick Lines now. He's worked an inning in the 3rd. He's coming out to pitch the 7th. Jerry Adair, 1 for 2, will lead it off. Lines gets the sign from Camille now. The windup and the pitch is 2-5 left-handed. Liner towards short, single on a 1. Brinkman makes the stab. And here's Carry-On, who's a walking machine against lefties. Lines into the windup. 6-7 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Missed the double switch again. God, I suck at that. Orioles will pinch hit. Which means, Larry gets his wish. That's right. Brawbender, who's warm, will be the next man in. Watt gave up 2 hits and a run in his inning. No, he didn't. He did pitch an inning. He gave up nothing. Struck out 1. All 3 runs charged to Barber. Okay, against the lefty, 2 out, nobody on. Batter will be Woody Held. Held, the only right-hander, other than Echeverrin, of course, with N power. Held on the year, 5 for 22 with a pair of doubles. It's a 227 average. Lines gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Held. It's a 5-8 righty, grounder to second base X. That's Hamlin. Hamlin a 334. Here's the play on a 6. He makes a nice stop and throws him out. Nice play, Hamlin. So 4-3X. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Lines. And through 7, it's 3-1 Senators. Here comes Brabender now. So, Larry, the stage is yours. Take it away, guys. Brabender on the year, 1-0 with a 5.4 ERA. He's been in 10 games. Oh, I'm sorry, unmitigated, but you know what? You can always rewind it. That's the beauty of this format, among other things. Guys, I have to apologize for the sloppiness of today's broadcast. I'm really trying to push myself, but I'm dragging and I'm a little bit silly. Combination of lack of sleep and the heat, I guess. Okay, 8th inning. Frank Howard to start it off. Frank's 2 for 3 today. The big play by him, of course, was back in the 6th when he scored from first on a double. Brabender gets the sign. Here's the pitch on a 1-5. That's going to be banged into left field for a base hit. Triple to 2. Triple to 2. He settles for the long single. Oh my, he had a shot at it. As it is, it's Howard's 3rd hit of the ball game. That'll bring up McMullen, 1 for 2 with a walk. Ben for the Senators. Brabender from the stretch. It's a 4-7 righty. That's a liner to short, single to 2. And he's got the single. It's a 1-star single. That'll be an infield hit. So Howard stopping at second. Yeah, they're not going to send him to third this time. And the first 2 Senators reach here in the 8th against Brabender. Here's Hamlin now. B. Bunner. Orioles are going to pull it in. They can see this coming a mile away. Hamlin squares to bunt as a C. On a 12C, this could be trouble. He pops out into a double play. Leading runner is out. 12C pops out to the catcher. We're just going to call that 2-4. That forces Howard. McMullen winds up on second, but there's 2 away. A big play there by Carry-On. And it'll be up to Camille, 0 for 2 with a walk. Brabender's pitch on a 1-6. Hard smash to third. Brooks Robinson to Powell, and that'll do it. So the Senators waste a chance to add on here in the 8th. No runs, 2 hits, a man left. It is still 3-1. Let's check the defense. For sure, Howard's going to come out. Everything else looks pretty good. So Willie Kirkland's going to come on and take over in left field for Frank Howard. 2E5 with a -2 arm, a 12 runner. Oh, you're right. Other runners hold. Yes, thank you, Mike. It does say that. We're going to go ahead and change that there. Didn't affect anything, but do want to get it right. McMullen did not advance on that play. Left, left, right. We've got 2 1/3 out of lines. Rated 3 for endurance. So this out here was the first out of his first endurance inning. With the left-handers coming up, they're going to stick with him. Let's see if the Orioles can do anything. They can. They're going to call Snyder back. No, that's center field. I need a center fielder. Paul Blair is going to come on and hit for Snyder. He'll take over in center. So here's Blair hitting 266 on the year. Lines gets the sign from Camille. Here's the windup and the pitch to Blair. It's a 2-11 lefty. Grounds it down to first. McMullen will take it to the bag. And there's one down. Bleffery. We could bring in Bowens to hit for Bleffery, but Bleffery still has good power against lefties. And Lyons, one of those odd backwards lefties, he's going to face him. Lyons' pitch to Bleffery is a 1-6, and he walks him. And here comes Hodges, and that's going to do it for Lyons. With the Robinsons coming up, they're going to go to the stopper, Ron Klein. The Lions did a good job. 2 2/3 for Lions. He did not give up a hit. He walked a pair. Struck out 1. Bleffery at first. Klein with that beautiful -5 hold. Yeah, what do you think happened there, Mike? Hamlin popped it up. McMullen stayed near first where he was supposed to. Howard drifted too far off the bag, and Carry-On threw down there and nailed him. That's a good point, down. That's going to trigger a series of moves. Because Savarin will have to go to second. McMullen will go to third. Hamlin will come out. And Dick Nen will come in at first base and go in the 9 spot. Pitcher goes in Hamlin's spot. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, you got to figure that Senators are going to try to get 2 innings out of Klein. Klein on the year, 3-0 with a team leading 8 saves, 2.35 ERA on the season. Runner at first, 1 away. Frank Robinson steps to the plate, representing the tying run. One, 2 and a third. No, he pitched 2 2/3. He only got 1 out in the 5th. Pitched the 6th and 7th and got 1 out in the 8th. He came in with 2 out in the 5th to face Blefary. Frank's getting ahead of us a little bit. That's okay. Klein has completed his warm-up tosses. Frank Robinson steps into the box. Blefary takes his lead. Klein with the pitch. On a 5-10 righty, it's a hot smash to third. That's McMullen now at third with all the changes. McMullen a 324. Here's the play on a 14. It's the E-range. It's that dreaded 5 on a 24, and he boots it. Error McMullen. And the tying runs are aboard. Up steps Brooks Robinson as the tension mounts here in Baltimore. The crowd on its feet. A big cheer for Brooks Robinson, who has not been retired today. Doubled, singled, and walked. Klein gets his sign, takes a deep breath, checks the runners, the windup, and the pitch. It's a 2-12, and he hits him. The bases will be loaded. We're going to roll for it. Oh my God, here it comes. No, actually, I'm sorry. On the first hit by pitch was a 2. That's a warning. So what happens, Ben? Who gets ejected? This is your rule, by the way. For those who don't know, this is Ben. Right, there was already a warning. So who gets thrown out? Klein? And that's it, right? Not the batter. Just the pitcher. House rule. Yes, for those who don't know, on the first hit by pitch, the roll was a 20-sided was a 2 on the 20D. That's a warning. The next hit by pitch is an automatic ejection, and Klein is ejected. This is a huge misfortune to Washington. Well, let's see what they've got. Basically, it's Humphreys or Cox. We're going to come back with Cox. Thank you, Ben, for the clarification. That rule for everyone's benefit was on Ben's suggestion. Before that, only the 1 on the 20D triggered a rule for the ejection chart. And in conference with Ben, I adopted the warning on the 2. So Casey Cox comes in an unenviable position to be in, as he'll be facing Boog Powell with the bases loaded. There is not a left-handed pitcher left in the Washington pen. So the tying run is at second base. That's Bleffery. Wait, no, that isn't right at all. The tying run is at second base. That's Frank Robinson. The go-ahead run is at first. That's Brooks Robinson. Powell 0 for 3. Infield at double play depth. There's the pitch from Cox. On a 5-10, it's a fly to center, shallow. On comes Locke, still coming. Makes the catch, and the runners will hold. Big out there for Cox. Now he'll face the right-handed Davy Johnson. Johnson 1 for 3. Cox gets the sign, checks the runners. The pitch to the plate on a 4-4 is a grounder to shortstop X. That could be 2. That's Brinkman, a 2E29. The roll on the play on a 2. He doesn't get it. It's a single 1 star and a run scores. Oh my goodness, the play only a 1 could have made. And that's going to be an RBI for Davy Johnson. Scoring is Bleffery. To third goes Frank Robinson. To second, Brooks Robinson. Anyway, there's 2 out, so that was that would not have been a double play. Jerry Adair, the batter. Score is 3-2 now. Cox stares in to get the sign. Pitch to Jerry Adair on a 3-7. Grounder to short. Brinkman's got this one and throws him out to end the inning. But what an inning it was. Orioles get a run, unearned. That's charged to lines. And the Orioles leave the bases full. Right switch, left-hander Bill Short tossing in the Oriole pen. Brinkman, Nan, and Valentine due for Washington as we go to the 9th. That 8th inning, one of the wildest of the replay. We had a walk, an error, a hit batter, followed by an ejection. An X play to short that was not converted. When all the dust settled, it's 3-2 Senators. So he wants Drabowski warming. Yeah, I don't know, Franklin. I'm not sure with all the lefty switchies coming up. I'm not sure if Mo is the answer. But you know what? I'll indulge you. Let me check his usage. Yeah, he can get up. He'll join short. Eddie Brinkman will lead it off. Brabender's second inning of work. He's rated 4 for endurance. Brinkman 1 for 3. Brabender's pitch is a 4-8 right-handed, and he walks him. Lead-off walk to Brinkman. Dick Nen, the batter. Let's check Brinkman's speed. He's a star 15, but Brabender with an excellent -4 hold. Carry on, though, a +3 arm. So Brinkman a 14. He will have to be held on at 12. With the runner held, the pitch to Nan is a 6'5 left-handed. It's a high fly ball to deep right field. Backing up is Frank Robinson at the track at the wall, and he makes the catch at the wall. Holy cow, that was exciting. On a 6'5 homer to 9, Nen rolled the 16. He does have the power. Here's Valentine, 0 for 4. Brabender from the stretch. That's a 2-9 right-handed grounder to second. Adair to his left. His only play is to first. And Brinkman takes second on the play. So Eddie Brinkman in scoring position with 2 down as Bob Savarin comes to bat. 1 for 3 today with a walk. Hitting left-handed against Brabender. Right-handed hitter on deck. Brabender gets the sign. The pitch to Savarin is a 6'6 lefty. Base hit into center field. Open single. Blair's out there now with a -1. Brinkman 13, 14, -1, 13. They're sending Brinkman. The throw to the plate. He is out at the plate. Fine throw by Paul Blair to nail him. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. Bob Humphreys, Dick Bosman available. Jim Duckworth, of course, but we won't be seeing him today. Not unless this game goes 15 innings. That was a huge throw. So it will be Carry On, a pinch hitter, and Blair. Cox into the windup. The pitch to Carry On is a 3-3. Struck him out. One down. And who's it going to be against the righty Cox? It's going to be Aparicio. Trying to see if they have somebody with some pop. But they really don't. Aparicio with the best chance to get on. Aparicio on the season, hitting .251, 2 homers, 25 RBIs. Standing in from the right side, Cox gets the sign from Camille. Here's the windup now, and the pitch is a 4-11 righty. Hard smash to third. McMullen has it and throws him out, and the Orioles are down to their final out. And it will be Paul Blair. Blair kept the game at a 1-run difference with that spectacular throw in the top of the inning. The crowd on their feet as Blair stands in. Cox gets the sign from Camille. Here's the pitch on a 5-7, and that's going to be a hit. Single, double to 6. It is a double for Paul Blair, and the tying run is in scoring position with 2 down. Don't go away. Crowd on its feet now as where the hell did Bleffery go? He didn't come out of the game. Bleffery, the left-hander at the plate. There is a right-hander on deck, but it's Frank Robinson. Tying run in scoring position, 2 down in the 9th. Senators lead at 3-2. Kurt Bleffery at the plate is 1 for 3 with a walk. Standing in from the left side as Cox gets his sign. The windup, the pitch to Bleffery on a 6-10 lefty is a fly ball to center field X. Locke going back, still going back, 2E9. On a 9, it's the E rating, a 7 on an E9, and Locke makes a spectacular running catch to end the ball game. Holy crap, what a game. Three to 2, the final. The Senators hold on. I will try to sort out the totals here in just a moment. Thank you, everybody, for watching it. Brabender worked 2. 2 hits, no runs. Walked 1, struck out none. Cox worked 1 2/3. Let's see, they took the lead in the 7th. So Barber is the loser. He drops to 6 3. 7th inning, so Lyons pitched into the 8th. They had the lead. So Lyons gets the win. Cox gets the save. There we go. Oh, that's classic. No, he doesn't get charged with a walk, does he? An error and a hit by pitch. Cox gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. I want to say that's his first save, and it is. Normally, Klein gets the lion's share of those. He has 8 of the team's 13. Dick Lyons with the win is 1-1. Player of the game. Boy, you could go a number of ways with this. I would say Dick Lyons myself. Two 2/3, no hits, and he drove in the winning run. That was Lyons' RBI bunt single there in the 7th. Howard with 3 hits. That's a good choice. Let's see if anyone else wants to add anything to that. I'll total it up here. The Senators in winning, 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Orioles, 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Lions the winner. Barber the loser. I think I'm going to go with Lions. Two and 2/3 hitless. He did give up a run, but that was not his fault, and he drove in the winning run. Dick Lines it is. I admit an unusual player of the game choice, but then this was an unusual game. Attaboy to Frank Howard for his 3 hits and his splendid base running. Okay, no game tomorrow. When the action returns, it's going to be the White Sox at the Angels. Jack LeMahieu for Chicago, George Brunette on the hill for California. I want to thank everybody again for watching. This was a lot of fun. I have to admit, even I woke up there the last couple innings. That took some doing today. So I'm going to get out of here and get some lunch. Thank you, everybody, once again. Thanks for the lively chat today. That was great. I'll see you on Thursday. I won't be here tomorrow. Mookie and I will be in exile. But on Thursday, it's White Sox and Angels, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. In the meantime, everybody have a great evening.